Good day, good people. I'm Dr. Johnny Pierce, but you can just call me Johnny, and this is the Actually Well podcast. We're continuing the series of me talking to amazing women who are doing amazing things to celebrate Women's Mental Health Month. And today I am with
Melissa Mather.
Hi, Melissa Mather.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's spring, but it's cool, and so life is good.
Life is indeed good. Well, Melissa, I'm glad to have you here, and I will talk a little bit about how I know you as time goes on. But today, to lead off, what do you do?
Awesome. So I have been working for the last 8 years, helping to get clients into treatment or patients into treatment for mental health and substance use.
Okay.
So I work really closely with a lot of the hospitals in the area, the local PHPs, IOPs, and a lot of psychiatrists to really get clients to get to a place where they can feel mentally and physically well.
All right. Well, one, thank you for that, because I probably don't get to see folks if you don't have them go get help in the first place, because sometimes people are not in a condition to be able to do outpatient work. Outpatient work has certain requirements about how long a person can stay clean or how well they're functioning. And if they are not doing that, then I am not effective at all. And I mean, there's some questions about how effective I am, even when they are all those things.
Right.
But that said, with you working as long as you've been working, kind of what have you seen over that time?
Sure. So I started my career in addiction and helping clients get into treatment for addiction, because addiction is very near and dear to my heart. And then over the years, I sort of pivoted into mental health and really have seen just a lot of mental health struggles come to light, especially after 2020,
when
we were all sort of like stuck indoors and kind of screaming for help and not getting the help that we needed. But I've seen a really beautiful explosion of people really coming in and asking for help and getting the help that they need, which is good.
One thing that seems to have come out of the COVID experience is that people in my field are stretching themselves to figure out how best they can provide services. I know that I'd never done telehealth prior to COVID, not one single session over a camera. And then where I was working before, I'd been working in Pennsylvania, and they said, okay, we can do telehealth now. And I'm sitting in front of a camera and I'm trying to focus on the screen, because staring at screens is incredibly hard when you got the doctorate, because you were doing that for a long time.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I got to figure out how to do this. And it took a little while to find a rhythm with it. And it's still, I would say, I'd rather see people in person. I'm glad that we're able to do this in person, share the same air. But I've learned how now to still be able to form that therapeutic bond over a screen and be present with the client, even though they are in a whole nother place and I'm in a whole nother place. But, thank COVID for that, I guess, that we can maybe have a bigger reach.
It's true. I had a therapist in 2020, and when it was pivoting to virtual, I said, absolutely not. I'm not going to do this over a video. There's no way. It's not going to be effective. And that was 2020. I fired my wonderful therapist. And now fast forward 2025, 26. I have not met my therapist, my current therapist, in real life.
How about that? And
she and I have a wonderful bond. And this is all because of trusting just being on video and having that relationship over telehealth. And it's built. It's beautiful. But yes, as far as stretching ourselves thin, I mean, our therapists for the facility I work for now, they are seeing over 30 clients a month at a time and trying to figure out all these brilliant nuances for each client. I don't know how they do it. We sit in treatment team once a week and we talk about these clients, and our therapists are so good because they know exactly what each person is doing and what their needs are. And my job is to get them into treatment afterwards.
Gotcha.
To get into a good place.
But now, something that I share with folks, because sometimes I get asked, because I seeing 30 people in a week, for me, I'm like, that's a light week. But the reason why I think we can do it if we kind of learn how to manage ourselves well. So one, acuity. If you know that a client has more challenges going on, you want to be more mindful about where you see that client in your week so that you can have the most resources you need in order to be present with them. another thing is each client is so unique. Every session, every conversation, every detail they share with you, like they have their own file in my filing cabinet.
Yes.
Like my brain, I think about it like being this giant filing cabinet where all these files are in there, and some of them are like, there's the professional filing cabinets, all of my clients, and then there's the networking one, and then there's this and there's that. And everybody's file is different. It's like a different color, it's got a different energy to it. And you just kind of let that cabinet open for the person who's present with you, and then boom, there goes the file. It opens up, and yeah, I remember you told me about this thing, da 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 da. And the person's like, you remember that? It's like, yeah, you're important to me.
Yeah, of course.
Why wouldn't I remember it?
Yeah. Well, we're so blessed to have therapists like you that can do something like that and remember what went on before in the last session, when sometimes, we're living our own lives here as a patient of a therapist myself, and I've forgotten that moment that I was struggling with 3 weeks ago, but you've remembered it. So thank you and bless you for that.
Well, I'm sure, Melissa, whomever you're working with that you've never met in the flesh, I'm sure they are thankful that you speak so well of them, because, we don't mind when our clients say something nice about us. And we also don't mind when our clients are critical of us and want us to do a better job. So don't forget that part. But I have met you on multiple occasions. It was, I think, the first time might have actually been in passing at some networking event. I just happened to see you. You happened to see me. We were kind to each other and we kept it moving. And then Hannon, who's someone I actually interviewed, she did a tour over at the Chantilly office that you work in. And I walk in and you're there and I'm like, hey, you're like, hey. And we remembered each other and it was a great conversation. And then you were doing Pups in the Park.
Yes.
And I saw you at Pups in the Park. And that's where you got to meet my daughters, which was a fun experience for everybody involved. They love your dog. They love your dog.
Thank you.
And then you started this new thing that you've been doing on I think it's second Tuesday of the month.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Sure. So Sweet Tooth Social, it's an idea that sort of stemmed from all of our therapists in the Ashburn, Loudoun, Leesburg area needing to really just get out and meet one another.
Right.
And it's been such a good opportunity for people to bounce ideas off of each other, such as, oh, I'm EMDR trained, I'm EMDR certified. Are you? What resources can you offer my client? What can I offer to your client? And it's been this beautiful sort of growing networking event that's allowed therapists to really get out and just kind of let their hair down and network. And not.
She said that because I'm bald. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
He lets his hair down often. And so it's been kind of a great little event that sort of snowballed. I come from events. So I spent my entire 20s and most of my 30s doing events. So this
really?
Meshing of kind of like events and mental health world has been such an awesome opportunity.
I know I went to the first two Sweet Tooths. I got to get back to them. I haven't been able to come to the last two because of scheduling, but they've been fun. I've walked in, you can tell everybody's excited to be there. And it's been like this hodgepodge of networking, and then you'll have somebody sometimes that are also hosting with you, and they'll share about where they're from, or they'll talk about a particular topic. It's a beautiful thing. It's always nice when we go to the next step. We all work with clients, and we work with clients in whatever capacity we do, but we sometimes fall short of working with each other.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we're all on the same team.
That's right.
We're all trying to accomplish the same thing. We want to provide the best services we can to as many people as we can. And we only do that as well as we can if we connect with one another as well.
That's right.
Because I might not be able to help that person because I am not EMDR trained.
That's right.
But if I know that this person is, then I know how to, refer that person. Yeah. If somebody's not doing so hot at the outpatient level, maybe they need an inpatient.
Definitely.
Hey, Melissa, what's going on? Where's the openings at? Where can we get this person to go? So if we don't have that network in addition to our own base of being helpful, we just don't really have as big a reach as we could have.
I think somebody in my position is better at their job if they can truly say we're all in this for the greater good. So while we might want to fight and say, oh no, I want that client, that's going to help my numbers, or I'm going to want this client. Nope. The better you are at your job is the better that you can really just say, no, we're all here for the greater good. And that's to get people well and get them to a good place.
Yes. Yeah. Now, you shared a little bit with us already about your own wellness journey. I'm wondering, as much as you're comfortable, take us on the journey with you.
Sure, absolutely. So my earliest memory of really having just this passion and love for addiction and mental health is sitting down in my at the table with my grandfather, and he sat me down, and I'll never forget him saying, you know, in our family, the way that you can really do well is never do too much of anything that it could get taken away. I can repeat that. Don't do too much of anything so that it might get taken away. And he was referring to me in my very early age 7, 9, 10. He was talking about addiction. So I have addiction on both sides of my family. And it's always kind of been this game of avoiding getting into, being an alcoholic or drug addict or anything of that nature. It was really ingrained in us early to do everything in moderation, even moderation.
Right.
And that was a big thing that my grandmother said. And then my grandfather actually sat us down and talked to us about that. And so I know my big brother and I have always really avoided wanting to fall into that pitfall of addiction.
Gotcha.
And it's easier said than done.
That's a book I'm supposed to be writing, by the way.
Okay.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done.
I'm working on it, folks. I'm working on it. Carving out the time in the schedule.
I love it. That's good. That'll be a good one.
It should be fun.
Yeah. And so I think from that sort of stemmed my love and passion of helping people that are struggling with addiction. And in my teens, even growing up just outside of Washington, D.C., there really weren't a lot of options for therapy.
Yeah.
And therapy was and really is a bad word in my family. There's a lot of undiagnosed mental illness in my family because people just aren't willing to go and get the help that they need. And so I think that's like an inside fight I've had my whole life of like, it's great to actually get therapy. It's wonderful. It's exercising a different brain in your body than just as if we were to go to the gym, we need to exercise a different muscle in our body. Right. So I'm pretty passionate about it. And that's kind of how my whole love for mental health, wellness, and addiction treatment came to be.
How about that?
Yeah.
How many people can say that it's their grandfather that sat down with them and tried to guide them about how to be safe in the world ahead at such a young age too?
Yes.
That is awesome. I never got to meet either one of my grandfathers. I don't know if they would have had that kind of sagely advice, but from what I've heard from people who actually got to meet their grandfathers, they tend to be very instrumental in like shaping who the person is because there's kind of a wisdom that they trust from their grandfathers that definitely. He knows what he's talking about. He's been through some things.
That's right.
Maybe I should listen to this guy.
That's right. I mean, we might have said that he might have said to me at one point, addiction skips a generation. And I know his my grandfather's father struggled with addiction. And so I think he was just trying to help me and kind of saying it's going to skip a generation. So it's going to skip you. it might.
Well, what is skip
my
you?
mom. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, if I think about that, the best conversation sitting around this little table in his kitchen in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Really?
The best. Yes, I was so lucky to have such a caring and supportive grandfather.
Yeah. I got excited about the Pittsburgh news because Pittsburgh is the one city I've worked in Pennsylvania before. I lived there for a couple years, and Pittsburgh's the only city in Pennsylvania that I still get excited about and still actually go. Like I've taken my daughters there. We've stayed there overnight on our way back to Detroit. So a lot of love for the Steel City. Love the fact that everything's yellow and black, and they just or gold and black because they call it black and gold. But yeah. It's a beautifully well-made city. The mountains being incorporated into it the way it is. I love it there.
Cool. Yeah, it's a beautiful space. It was where we went every single year for Christmas, whether we liked it or not. But the rich traditions started from being there, and of course just having these great conversations.
Nice.
Little did my grandfather know that he was really just like starting this kind of like love and I guess a little like
angst,
maybe. For just avoiding things that aren't good. And he wasn't just referring to addiction and mental health, he was referring to food as well. And this kind of conversation came up this morning as I was listening to Glennon Doyle interview someone.
Huh.
Yeah,
he was trying to give you the roadmap.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yes.
So your grandfather starts you down the path of being more mindful about how you go about doing things and enjoy life, but enjoy it in a way where nothing can be taken from you because it become excessive and so important that it'll harm you if it's taken from you.
Right.
How do you see that translating into your life now?
Absolutely. So I think so. I'm a mom. I'm in recovery, and I can see that, I think his words really just were so ingrained in me. I knew that that was the number one thing I needed to do for my daughter is to be in recovery and always continue along my mental health journey. So, so what that looks like now, I suppose, is just that it's, raising my daughter and raising her in just the healthiest way that I possibly can. So we don't really punish. We do not punish for feelings in my household. You can be sad, you can be mad, you can be angry, and those are all feelings. And that helps if mommy is sad or mad or angry.
Because sometimes that happens to parents too.
It does.
We happen to be people as well.
That's right. So even though I might look like a perfect person to her on the outside, and maybe if I'm lucky, I'll be her role model, she knows that still.
Oh, Melissa, you know full well that girl's looking up to you with the biggest eyes. Like, oh, mommy's awesome.
But she could still get mad and sad and angry, and it's A-okay.
It is.
Yeah, we don't go to our room for being mad or sad or angry. We don't get spanked for being mad, sad, or angry. We talk about it. And I think that's a really beautiful, beautiful relationship to have.
Yeah, it sounds like something I've said to my oldest daughter. I'd say, I will never give you consequences for how you feel.
Yeah.
How you express yourself, that's something that can get you some consequences, because there's a way to express our anger. There's a way to express our sadness. And hopefully I'm inviting her, and more times than not, I mean, she's been on a roll. I invite her to talk about how she feels. And even when the feelings are hard to talk about, she can express it in a way where I can then run in and support her.
Like that.
Because how we express our emotions, we either push people away with our emotion or we bring them in with our emotion. And a lot of us have been taught to push people away. We act out. So when we get angry, we lash out. We want to break stuff. We want to, you're hurting on the inside. I want you to hurt too. When we're anxious or when we're overwhelmed, we just want to shrink and become as small as possible. And we just want to get away from the situation.
Yes.
If we're feeling down, we don't want to talk about it. We want to mope, but we don't want anybody asking us too many questions.
That's right.
And the turning point, I think, for us was I said, I wish that I were a mind reader. If I were, I would go to a casino and I would clean house.
Yes, that's right.
I don't gamble, but if I start gambling, I got the clairvoyance. But since I'm not a mind reader, I need people to talk to me in order for me to be helpful to them.
Right.
And with my daughter in particular, like, I'm not her therapist. And we had a chat about that. She's like, Dad, why can't you be my therapist? I'm like, because I'm your dad. That's why. That's the only reason why. Now, of course, there are ethical reasons why, but like, that's the only reason why that matters to me is like, I am so thrilled to be her dad.
Yeah.
And I get the sense you're thrilled to be a mom. I don't want to try to be a therapist. I want to be here for you. So
you can lead her on the right path to a therapist.
Yeah, if that's necessary. So in this particular case, the talking about emotions part, our kids seeing us sit with different emotions and hearing us talk about that experience. I get upset sometimes. And instead of me feeling like, oh, I got to like keep it together because if I don't, then the kid's going to see that I get upset. It's like, no. Let me talk to them about this. Hey, I'm frustrated right now. This is what's frustrating me. This is what I'm going to do to try to make it better. Can you all help me with this? Because I'm expressing the emotion in a way that's welcoming them in and helping them be a part of the process with me, modeling it to them.
Yes. So important. It's so important that modeling, because I mean, as we probably know from growing up and just life in general, hurt people.
It's a thing.
And boy, can that be painful. Yeah. I mean, I think that's why I think there's just so much bullying in the world, and there's just so much bullying in school. I mean, I feel like I'm going to be that fighting mom that goes running into school. You said Joseph bullied you? Well, let me see that, Joseph. I'm coming in. Mommy's got her boxing gloves on. I'm sure that's how I see myself.
Joseph, you're going down, buddy.
But in reality, no, we're setting them on a path to be successful, and we're setting them on a path to really to be well. And it's so wonderful seeing in school how they're doing yoga and mindfulness, and how do I handle how do I handle myself with this emotion and this emotion and this emotion? It's so cool to see her coming home with little worksheets talking about that, because it's so important.
All right, school
thank
system.
you, Fairfax Public School System.
Let's go, Fairfax Public School System. Let's go. Yes, I was unaware.
I know.
I didn't know your game.
I know. So here we are. We're talking about it. I mean, I think there's something that mommy has had to learn a ton about, and listen to a lot of podcasts about, is repair. Repair. Oh man, what did that word mean? Growing up, a totally different version than what it is now. Well, mommy got mad this morning, and mommy's feeling guilty for being mad, because that's really ingrained in me that being mad is bad. So, how do I repair? And so for me, repairing is really going home at the end of the day and saying, hey, mommy really did feel big feelings this morning. You feel big feelings too. I'm sorry if that made you scared, or did it make you feel scared? And just opening up that conversation, opening up and talking about that, because that word has saved me from so much guilt.
And guilt can be one of those things that it's an emotion and it has its place, but I think that at times it can be crippling, because since I feel so guilty, I can't help but see myself in a bad light. Since I see myself in a bad light, I'm now making poor decisions about how I treat myself, and it kind of spirals from there.
Yes.
So it can be quite the mess. Now, Melissa, speaking of being a mom, are there any other parts of your identity that you feel have impacted you or shaped how you go about journeying on your wellness journey?
Well, I think that realizing that as a single mom, it took me a long time to really realize that I need my own time.
Yeah.
And I remember that being the scariest part of divorce, was like, holy cow, like, she's going to go with her dad for every other week, and some spring breaks she'll be with him for, what am I going to do with myself? What am I going to do with myself? I've, raised this sweet child, and now she's going to be with him for a certain amount of period. What am I going to do? And now I find myself even speaking to some of my best friends who are sadly going through divorces, to say, listen, that alone time is actually awesome. You will figure out what to do. I started painting in 2020.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so thanks to YouTube and
let's go YouTube.
Yeah. Thanks to YouTube and a wonderful artist who put her work online in 2020. I went to Lidl, the grocery store. Yes, I did. With gloves on, mask on. I mean, this was like that serious part of like March, April 2020. I was grocery shopping for my family, and I found an easel for $20, and I said, whoa. So thanks to that shopping trip, I picked up a paintbrush and some paint, and thanks to YouTube and lots of videos, I've painted almost every single day for the last 6 years.
That's amazing.
And that is my mental health journey. That is my mental health journey in a nutshell. So when I don't paint, I find that I am a little anxious, because it's for me, it's not only that creative outlet, it's that start to finish, it's finishing a project, and I love it. So even if that piece of work is not a great piece of work or it doesn't show up good, I've still completed something, and I've learned something new, and I love it. And then my daughter sees me being very peaceful and sees that as my hobby too. So, yeah.
All right.
It's a big part of it.
Well, Melissa, do you share your art with the world at all?
I do. I'm on Instagram.
Okay. Well, this is the part where I ask, how do people connect with you if they want to see your art?
Awesome.
If anybody's trying to get in touch with you from a networking standpoint, like, how do you want people to reach out?
Awesome. So if anybody ever wanted to reach out, I am on Instagram, Melissa Alexandria Art.
Nice.
And
we'll have it underneath her face when we do the editing process. So like, you can look forward to it being there.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So Melissa Alexandria Art on Instagram is my handle.
Okay.
And it's there. And it's a work in progress every day.
Dig it. I think that's the piece that it would be the most connecting piece is I'm somebody who is every day about like, how do I improve myself? How do I get better? And here I am putting it on display.
Yes.
Because a lot of times people are busily talking about how they're doing these things. And it's like, actions over words. What's the change process look like?
Yes.
Show us. We got a running joke about how mental health can sometimes end up looking like Planet Fitness, where at one point in time, Planet Fitness didn't exist. It just didn't exist. And then suddenly it was everywhere.
Yeah.
And people got their black card, so you can go to any Planet Fitness. They got the bumper sticker, had a keychain and everything.
Yeah.
And maybe at first people were going in mass amounts, but then systematically over time, they had the black card, they got the bumper sticker, they got the keychain, but they weren't going to the gym.
Not going. No,
They weren't going to the gym. And since they weren't going to the gym, then they weren't getting the benefit of actually going into the space. They got the prestige from saying they were going to the space, but they didn't necessarily get the benefits from going to the space. And it's been a beautiful thing to watch fitness become what it's become. Because I think long before mental health became destigmatized and something that people were more comfortable talking about, it was the gym that people started to go into and put up their tripods and show off their workouts and give you some look into gym culture, which is fascinating.
Yes.
But now it's become the mental health space where, almost everybody's got a therapist. Almost everybody's got their inspirational quote that they got from their therapist. And yes, I happen to be on Instagram as well. I have a professional account, which I'll put here. And I also have the pod has its own account, which, of course, I'm running it, but it's there. But I got a personal one that I don't necessarily advertise as much because it's just me and my kids making puzzles. Like that's just what we're doing. That's what we're doing on there. We're putting it on there. But it's one thing to talk about getting better. It's one thing to talk about how you want to improve and make change. And it's another thing to take those steps and make that action become a reality.
Yeah.
And those paintings are very much you making it a reality each day.
Thank you.
That's
thank
awesome.
you. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to checking them out because I didn't even know about this. See, this is news for me. I didn't know that Melissa's out here doing art, and it's something I can check out.
That is my action item. That is a very visual action item of mine that I love so much. Yes.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
You were very excited when I reached out to you. You're like, yes, I definitely want to do that. I was like, yes, I like the excitement about doing it.
Well, absolutely, because I love your work. I love your work, really, I do. And my favorite quote, not quote, but maybe my favorite saying of all time from Dr. Johnny Pierce is...
She hit me with the full doctor, too.
His best quote about couples counseling, and I'll never forget this because this could have changed so many of us.
This is the second time I've heard this.
When working with couples who are struggling, and maybe they're leaning towards divorce, maybe they've just had a huge fight, maybe something has happened. Johnny would say, let's go back. Let's go back to that initial moment of when things were good. Let's talk about when things were good. And let's just kind of think about that, embody that. And that is such good.
It's an anchoring point.
Simple and anchoring. Yes.
Yeah. Because when you're in the midst of crisis or things are going poorly, it's so easy to forget that at one point in time, the sun did shine.
Yes, things were good.
At one point in time, you looked across and you saw that person. You thought, I can't imagine living life without this person.
Right.
That did happen. And that doesn't negate that things happen afterwards that aren't so great.
Right.
It just gives you a little bit more interest in fighting to either get back to a time like that or even go beyond it.
Right. It's important.
Right.
It's a good starting point. It's a good anchoring point, like you said. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yes.
Your clients are lucky to have you. That's really cool.
Well, I'm lucky to have you in my network of people that I get to hang out with from time to time. I can't wait for Pups in the Park to start back up.
Oh, us too.
I got to get to Sweet Tooth next month. I didn't make it this month and I didn't make it the last month, but I got to get to it next month. I also want to say in advance, because we're recording this in April, but May is where Mother's Day lands. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. That is my greatest gift, is being a mother. I'm so proud of it.
We are very fortunate to be parents. It is awesome.
Thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
Yes, go moms. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you all for tuning in again. If you haven't been doing this, I want to encourage you to start doing this. Reach out to people. Reach out to people. If you listen to what Melissa said today about what she's experienced and how she's been able to kind of grow, it was through this networking of sorts between family, between the YouTube community, between just getting out. And she brings people together through the events that she's been a part of, also through connecting clients to services they need. we need to be more and more in tune with ourselves. And that also means being in tune with those around us. So if you haven't been doing that, I just want to give you that word of encouragement. Let's celebrate Women's Mental Health Month. And please like, share, and subscribe if you can. Comment below. I mean, we've been having some discussions. Let's have some underneath the actual podcast from time to time. And please be well. This has been Actually Well.